Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, honors, and praises to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahshai, Bashim, Rakach, Wadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone for teaching this truth. Time and time again, showing me men of the Lord, the water Yahweh, Bashim, Yahshai, Bashim, Rakach, Wadash. And I'm the brother, Lord willing, Malak, Lahawam, Lab, and having it's just things that are going on in the news. I got 2 articles, and then just this new virus that's going around, which is nothing new under the sun, and it's a little odd. Just get on to this situation. The norovirus, which is a new virus, which if you go into the word, it means Norwalk, or like in some instances. But there's 5 symptoms of it: nausea, vomiting, stomach, watery, loose diarrhea, feeling ill, low-grade fever, muscle pain. Which is odd because this is a retelling of a virus that has came before, and all those chain derailments started was in Ohio. Well, it happened before in 1968 in Norwalk, Ohio. It's a stomach virus. Just as how the C19, it was a new disease. But it wasn't. It was just another disease. So we don't know if they worked it in the lab, and that's why they brought forth that train derailment. But it can mean North Rock or cup-like. Because it means Norwalk. And look up the etymology of Norwalk. It's a point of land, north. These articles I have. This is Isaiah chapter 24, verse 25. The earth is also defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the law and changed the ordinance and broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore the curse devour the earth, and they shall dwell therein desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burnt, and a few men are left. And then the ultimate curse was going to be that Zephaniah chapter 14, verse 12, which is the curse devour the earth, but also these many curses. The Lord said he was going to come and bring plagues like before. So look at this. 7 companies declared bankruptcy over the weekend in a 15-year record high, which is around 2008. So recession level bank closures, bankruptcies. At least 7 companies declaring bankruptcy in the last 48 hours, a recorded 15-year record. Among them, of the Chapter 11 protection, which is when you do Chapter 11, you file and you give up. Usually, sometimes you have to give up assets and all that stuff, but then they clear the debt. Where digital media group Vice Media reported here Monday, privately equity blackened healthcare firm Erosion. According to Bloomberg News, this was the largest number of bankruptcy filings record from 2-day stretch since 2008. So correct. It's making up. Which is 2008 is when we had that housing crisis. We had that would be called a recession. But then we're going into a time of depression, which is even worse. Among other weekend bankruptcies, a biotech firm, Aminex, oil production cock operation, fire protection company, Kibble Felworth, home security provider, and Medtronic International and chemical companies, Vertex Materials. Bloomberg note that the companies across a range of industries coping with higher interest rates. That's what's happening. The Fed just created they just raised so debt was very cheap for a long, especially how bad, and people weren't making money, so they would take loans, and they would be able to take it back because the interest rate was so low that it was like for these big companies and the PPP loans, that was like free for getting money. But then when it turns that they still are doing bad and they can't just take loans, they have to pay it back. It costs more money than loan. They'll have to file because they have took down too much debt. Bloomberg noted the company across the range and thus coping with a higher interest rate, making it hard to refinance loans and bonds, while executives under more scrutiny for the investors and creditors. Has this like Signature Bank, and it was another bank that was 100% crypto, and Signature was 3%. But when Signature started failing, when the interest rates started rising, it instantly just caused panic in the market, which caused Silicon Valley to crash even more because they got rid of all of their crypto. They just because it's a high liquidity, actually, like you can just get rid of it real fast. It's almost like cash. So they just got rid of it fast, causing panic in the market. So the more these companies see and how the higher interest rates controlled by the Fed increase. So as that happens, the new wine, this back in the Isaiah chapter 24, verse 7, the new wine mourneth in the land languish. All the merry heart do sigh. The mirth of the tabern cease, and the noise of them that rejoice endeth. The joy of the heart cease. So this is what happens. Like when it happens, that all the mirth in the land just disappears because now no one has this extra money, no one has extra things to buy. People just start slacking. Bear with me. All the things that they have looked forward to be able to do, they're not going to be able to do. This is Joel chapter 1, verse 3. We'll get into this article too, because once everything starts falling apart, actually, I'm going to come back to that. This is Ecclesiastes. Bear with me, I'm coming back to this. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 3. Uh, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, those that look out of the window be darkened. So see all these jobs are trying to refine in bankruptcy. And when that happens, you see all these job closures and everything that's happening. It's not going to be no work. It's going to be few and far between. So then it's just going to get progressively worse. No jobs, no ability to get a job because all the companies are bankrupting. And then there's going to be a shortage of food, so on, and everything starts going to cease. And because there are few, those that look out of the window shall be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the street. There's going to be, as is martial law, we're going to get that real quick. The Lord be having you in scriptures and scriptures, especially the worst things get, the Lord will just put a spirit on you. I'm going to start at 15. For the sword and the destruction draw not. Because this is, as these banks and everything are closing, the people are getting upset. And that's when you see all these killings and all these spirits of vengeance and just people just giving up on life and saying, yep, I'm just going to kill everybody I know. Because, that's the Edomite spirit. They just take out as much as people they can. And one people shall stand up against and fight another and swords in their hands. So people are going to start fighting like the haves and the have-nots.
For the shall be sedition among men, invading one another, and shall not regard kings nor princes. Because now if they're not be able to work, and they see that everything has to do with the Fed now increasing interest rate, it's like, man, fuck, these rulers are not doing anything, and it's just gonna just be a problem and a problem. Nor princes, of course, in the answer shall stand in the power, and a man should decide the city and shall not be able. So they're gonna, this grinding and all this thing cease, that they're gonna have to, all these riots, they're gonna have to lock this down. And because the pride, the city shall be in trouble, and the houses shall be destroyed, and man shall be afraid. And, we kept going on. So it should be shut, and the grinders is low. When the grinders are low, it's just no production. There's going to be no work in Egypt. We're going to get that in a little bit. And he shall rise up in the verse of words, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low, as is the elder and apostle. That's why the music's so bad. It's like no one has no passions of singing about anything. Everything's just bullshit. One article. This is a good one too. In 60 days, 5 banks collapsed, and if you look at it, it's also because of the increase of the fucking interest rate, which causes them to now the debt that they have received, now they pay it back has to go in. So it's a big difference from 1 to 6%. I don't know what the rates is, but just put in an example. Time of right after Trump, that they were literally, it was almost free to get money. It was just like, they were just, hey, hold this for me. But now it's costing that 6% of like $1 billion. Let me see. It's about, is it? Damn. $6 million. I mean, $1 million? No, $10 million. And as of last week, the Midwest, another article, egg prices are crashing. The grinders, work. It all coincides. As of last week, Midwest and the benchmark for eggs are sold on the shelf cost just 94 cent per dozen in the wholesale market, according to the. And when I was back used to live in Iowa, they used to sell a whole dozen for 12 cents. It was good. And an independent price report aging that sharp fall from 5.46 per carton just in 6 months in retail price, well above $1 a carton, though it's have been declining. What is the decline? It's because the reverse supply and demand trend that caused prices to spike in the first place. Last year, deadly avian flu, you see that? Pestilence, the Lord said, was going to wipe out significant number of egg-laying hens, reducing the egg supply. On top of that, farmers have to deal with inflated feed and fuel costs, Feed is, all these farms and everything is failing, that they have to pay for that, the increase, because the animals got to eat. If they don't eat, you don't eat. And gas prices will, bringing the feed to it, because you have to have a semi to bring enough feed for just a couple months. Every 2 months, depending on how big your farm is. If it's the chickens, eat a shit ton. So that's probably like a monthly supply. And on top of that, farmers had to deal with the inflation. Distributors gave product like cow food, the largest egg distributor, covered to hike prices way up and rate huge profits. But now the supply backed on track, though the industry braced for more cases of the bird flu. When a farm gets the flu, it will eliminate the entire, like once a sickness is in the farm, it will eliminate the entire farm within a couple of days. And if not, they'll have you just kill them all, because that's how bad like avian flus affect like farm animals of chickens and fowls. They're not very, there's not much to them, so they die. So bear with me. So what's that going to do? Because
Let me see. Is it eating? I think it's. I'm gonna grab this and then I'm gonna go back because I never finished it. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 38. For as in the days where, behold, the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving into marriage, until the day of Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. So many people are continuously still being in their folly, doing their nonsense. You know how Jake is. But the Lord causing the food and the work is causing, I'll get that after this, the mirth to fail. And this is because, bear with me. This is Ezra chapter 16, verse 18. In the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars. So it was all happening. The Ukrainian food things, bank crisis, everything. It's the beginning of everything. And the power shall stand in fear and the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? What shall? Famine, plagues, tribulation, which is enticement to sin, because the hour of temptation is going to be these juicy juice and all these stuff of these pestilence that have been here before, but now is a super version of it. They're all reasons for the people to take the MOTB. But it's really in the deeper hand for the Lord. Are sent as a scourge for the amendment, but all these things shall not turn from their wickedness, nor also mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that they may still think that their self be in good case. So other than that, inflation rate and everything is increasing, the supply and all that stuff. So how they're combating it is increasing inflation, which is going to just destroy the value of the money. So now mirth is ceasing. And many shall that dwell upon the earth shall perish in famine, and others shall escape the hunger and shall be destroyed by the sword. So let's get back. Let me grab something real quick, because all this is going to just cause the same effect. It's a perverse spirit going out in the midst of Babylon. This is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 14. And the Lord has mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every word, and a drunken man stagger in his vomit. Everything they're doing, they're increasing interest rates, failing banks, failing companies, bankruptcies of everything. Food production is everything's going to shit. Neither shall there be any work in Egypt, for head and tail, branch or root may do it. But in the day Egypt shall be on like a woman, it shall be afraid and fear, because the shaking of the hand of the Lord which have shaken over it. The rebuking of it, causing these plagues to go on to it, of all these wicked shits that they've been doing, is Egypt. But no one listens, Look what the Lord. Let me just grab this, because I've been trying to bring this out, but the Spirit never has it. But so it's just sloppy. Maybe it still don't want to break it out because I didn't even type that. But this is I'm just gonna get it. This is Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 10. To whom shall I speak and give warning, that they may hear? Behold, the ears of the uncircumcised, and they cannot hearken. Behold, the words of the Lord is upon them, a reproach, and they have no delight in it. They don't. So that's why the score, they think everything is cheap and all that stuff, that they're still in a good case. But the Lord is causing this place to err tremendously, because all these things failing, the farm, these banks, these companies that are modern day like in industries that what we call like fields and businesses of people, banking and all this stuff. But this is Amos chapter 5 verse 11. From there much as you're treading upon the poor, yet from him burden of wheat ye have built a house hewn with stone, but ye shall not dwell in them. Ye have planted pleasant vineyards, but ye shall not drink the wine thereof. Because the wine, go back, I haven't finished it, Isaiah the 24th chapter. For I know the manifold of your transgressions and your mighty sins. They afflict the just. They take a bribe. They take aside the poor and gate from the right. Therefore, the prudent shall keep silence in that time, for it's an evil time, because the Lord is going to have our mouth cleave to the roof of our thing. That we're not obedient, it's going to be the famine of the word. See good and not evil, that they may live. So the Lord God of hosts shall be you as spoken. I'm trying to jump down. All right, I'm going to jump down. Okay. Therefore, verse 16, Amos, therefore the Lord God of hosts, the Lord said, the wailing shall be in the street, all crying for no food, for nowhere to work, which is going to cause, as Egypt fell, that they shall say in the highways, alas, alas, they shall call the husband to mourn, farmers and stuff, and people that produce food, such as are skillful, lamentation to wailing. So that's what the whole world is defiled. The whole world languishes. And all the vineyards shall be wailing, for they will pass through thee, said the Lord. Woe unto them that desire the day of the Lord. And those people are like, it's going to get better. Woe unto you. You don't understand what's about to happen. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness, not light. And as a man did flee from a lion, a bear met him. So it's just going to just get worse. So it's going to continue. If you're not with Yahweh Hashem Shai, you're going to get caught up. There's going to be more things going on, and one thing's going to get you if you're not of the elect, Lord willing. When in the house, lean his hand on the wall and a shepherd by him. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light? Every man dark and no brightness in it. You know, getting Lord just be increasing. You just be having just lessons on lessons on lessons. You just don't know how to have time for him. But this is back into Isaiah chapter 47, verse 7. And the new wine mourneth, and the vines languish, and all the merry-hearted do sigh. The mirth of the tabernacle cease, and the noise of the rejoicing endeth, and the joy of the harp cease. They shall not drink wine with a song, strong drink shall not be bitter to them. That is, the city of confusion is broken down, every house is shut up, and no man cometh in. So it's all going, all the business in Babylon of this confusing place going down. The mirth is going to cease. No strong drink is not even going to do anything. He's going to, because you're not have a job, you're not be able to do it. It's about to get bad. So with that, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh by Hashem, Shai by Hashem, Kakadash, the Wadi Yahweh by Hashem, Shai by Hashem, Kakadash, the Wadi Yahweh by Hashem, Shai by Hashem, Kakadash, Shalom.